My name is Prashant Ranjan Verma. I am representing National Association for the Blind, Delhi, the NGO which is working to empower people with visual disabilities. During this lockdown, we are trying to come up with various webinars to provide more information, skills and knowledge to the visually impaired community across the country. So this webinar is one such in this series. There will be more webinars on this NAB Delhi online YouTube channel. After this webinar today at 4 p.m., you can join us for another webinar, which will be on creating effective and impressive profiles using LinkedIn and other social media platforms. Tomorrow on Sunday, you can join us for the second session of the financial planning webinar. But today we have the webinar on charismatic communication, how to walk and talk like a leader. This will be delivered by Sujita. So Sujita, I
Yes.
hope you are online and
Yes, sir.
you can please introduce yourself.
Hi, good morning, everyone. My name is Sujita, and I am a freelance journalist. I've been writing for the past 5 years or so, 5 years and more, and I have done hundreds of interviews as a professional journalist, and also I'm going to be soon a published author. And also, I've done my master's in English literature, specializing in journalism, PG diploma in advertising, and PG diploma in human resource management as well. So I'm so passionate about communication. Communication is one of the subjects that has like always intrigued me. I'm so passionate to presenting that with you all today. And I'm also a YouTuber, and yeah, that is all about me.
All right, okay, Sujita. So, okay, so we are very happy that you agreed to this do this webinar for us. And
The pleasure
um,
is mine, sir.
yes, so many people have shown their interest, and so we will go live, and we will also remain on YouTube. So this webinar will remain on YouTube for people to watch. All right. Uh, so I think Sujita, you have decided. You told me that you will be taking some questions in between, maybe
Yes, sir.
after 15-20 minutes of your presentation,
Yes, sir.
and probably you will try to take more questions towards the end. All
Yes.
right. So so I welcome everybody again to this webinar on charismatic communication, how to walk and talk like a leader. And I think Sujita, now you can begin.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, as I was telling you all, I'm very passionate about communication, and I want to, share that all with you. This is something, charismatic communication that I've learned and still learning after a lot of, I think I would say it's of around 80% what I've, made mistakes and the lessons learned. So, whatever I'm going to deliver is definitely going to be very practical and also science and research based on psychology, NLP, neuroscience, and also current broadcasting trends, which is going to probably help you out in making your communication very much intact, in line with entertainment, another industry that I'm related to. So I'm really going to, I'm really hoping that the session is going to be hands-on and very practical use in nature. So I'm going to outline, the structure of this webinar as we are going to stay. I have, if you say that, what is charisma, please, among the audience, please, you can tell me your meaning for charisma. What do you think is a person who is charismatic? you can even name a person or specify quality what you think makes a person charismatic. So, and also I'm going to, charisma means power, presence, warmth. So I'm going to tell you how you can project power and how you can have your presence felt, and also how to show your warmth. There is a lot of strategy and uh, technique that is involved in doing that all. So the first part of it is going to be, I will outline some of the mistakes that we make as visually impaired people on projecting powerful body language. And the next portion that I'll be dealing with is, there are some barriers to be communicating charismatically. So I'll let you know from my experience as well what were the barriers and how to tackle them all. So I've crossed it, and I will not say that I'm perfectly perfect in that sense, but what are the barriers that are, to be communicating charismatically, and how should one overcome as a visually impaired person. And also in the next segment that I will be dealing with, how what are the qualities that uh, one can have to be charismatic. And finally, I will outline, as I've mentioned in the invite, uh, so how to make one very much impressionable even in informal settings as dating or whatsoever. So since that is also important to make up, that setting is also important wherein you have to make your impact and presence felt very much. So that is going to be the structure of my presentation today. So hope it will be very much valuable. I have packed so much of my experience uh, of observing communication experts, people who I have interviewed and interacted with, and my personal, limitations which I've overcome. Hope it will be very, very useful. Please stay with me. And also, I welcome a lot of questions, and I want the session to be very much learning involved. And I want, in every segment, I want you to take away something, and I want you to implement the changes. So my first question is, I had asked you, please keep tag of my questions as well. What quality makes somebody charismatic? Please tell me. And also, do tell me who is charismatic according to you, as per your opinion. So, most people think, sorry, sir, you want to say
Yeah,
something, sir?
yeah, Sujita. So I will be monitoring the responses. You may please go on. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
So, Barack Obama once said, if India speaks, the whole world listens. So it can be said of the same of Obama as well. When he speaks, we all listen. So what does that X factor look like? How does it look like? What does it sound like? Let's dive deep into that. And if you're being very charismatic, there are a lot of advantages to it. If you are a CEO, you will be you will be getting a lot of work done. People will be very happy to work with you. And if you are an employee, you will be promoted, your advancement in career will be great. And also, if you are a student, people, you'll have a lot of friends. And if you're a consumer, or if you want to interact with the society in general also, people will respond to you so much that you will get a lot of information from people. You'll get a lot of help from people if you're very charismatic. So, uh, sir, if there is any answer on, who is the most charismatic person, or what quality is, according to you, is charismatic, is there any answer from the audience, sir, as of now?
Okay. Yeah. No, actually, people are still joining. So hopefully they will be typing in the responses also. So
Yes,
you may continue. I will let you know. Yeah.
sure, sir.
Okay.
So, as we were saying, first I will be covering body languages. as I had already mentioned, uh, our communication begins even before we enter a room. As we are sitting, okay, as an image is projected about us. So how do we handle it, and how do we present it so powerful? How do we project it? Project a powerful image. So when we talk of that, we talk of body language. So when we talk of body language, what comes first is, you will definitely all agree with me when I say the smile is the first factor. One got to be wearing a smile, always. I'm still always remember, even though I'm kind of, very serious kind of a person, I still remember people who are have a very smiling face all the time. No, my professor would always say, Sujita, you have a good smiling face, uh, which I would definitely say is not all the time. Of course, my family members call me sometimes very serious a person that I am, but still, it's really nice to hold a very good smile all the time. That makes you approachable. Okay, people think that you're very approachable, so they will definitely come and talk to you, and you're not intimidating. So that's a soft kind of a power. So, as we were talking about the body language, now we said about smile. And then, see, you may have a presentation, or you may have, very important meeting with somebody, which it can be an interview also. So, how do you project power in that, scenario? So, what one should do is probably take a very deep, calm breath, actually. Why I'm saying this is a very simple step, you would say definitely, but sometimes uh, I had been to a physiotherapist, and he was telling me, and had like very bad experience, and I had very bad backache. So my muscles were very tense, and what happened to you? Like, he did not know me actually before, so he was asking me, is there any problem that you have, because your muscles are so tense and tight, and your shoulders are very tight together, like, uh, they are, they see that in the muscle. So to have a relaxed posture, what should one do is should adapt a very uh, so that posture will come only when you have a very deep breath. So you should take a deep breath, calm yourself. It's not only for calming yourself, your body will automatically relax, loosen up. Okay, so breath is a first thing that would project power. And you would, when you breathe slowly, automatically you would feel that, after all, I'm going to be best in the interview. After all, uh, even when I was preparing for UPSC exam a lot of years back, people were telling me that, when you're going to face an interview panel, just breathe and smile. So those were very, very helpful. Uh, and breathing, will definitely help improve your posture. As that physiotherapist on that day asked me, why are your muscles so tight? So it will not happen. And the next thing is, uh, you have to work on the shoulders of, in the first place, because shoulders are the ones that show that you are very tensed, or you're not only not tense, but also you're not projecting power. You're very weak, so your shoulder will say that by the shrug. So you got to have your shoulder very loose and relaxed. So there should not be any tightness over there. And about your arms, when it comes to your arms, you should not, you can show people that you're open or closed for communication. uh, people can see that by your hand. I'm telling you. See, if your hands are, if you're clasping your hands together, holding them uh, towards each other, intertwining your fingers, um, or holding your hands, that is not going to tell people that you're relaxed or easy to approach. So your hands should always be left loose by your sides, and there should not be clasping or grasping any of that sort. So, and then see, when you're doing something, your hands must not be fiddling with anything. uh, your fingers must not be fiddling with anything, and it should be open for everyone to see. If that is done, a study says, if your hands are free for everyone to view, if you keep them in front of the table, free, if they are let loose and presented in front of the table, you just let you lose your hand, and it's open for everyone to see. That is a power projection, and studies say that that shows you as a confident person. And also, now we talk about your head, hip, chest, and all of those organs. See, if you're sad, no, you have all the sad hormones like, sorry, oh my God, I'm not getting the sad hormone's name here. I think, yeah, it's cortisol, the stress hormone. So when your head is down, your cheeks are down, and your chest is like, if you're in a slumped or stooped position, definitely you will be sad and you will not project a positive image. So obviously charisma is all about positivity and power. So how do you project that? Here is an experiment, and you will please let me know if that is working out well. This is a science
Sujita,
based. Yes,
just
sir.
to kind of update you, so Angia, Suresh, and few others are giving their comments,
Yes, sir.
and
Please.
nobody exactly named a charismatic person, but they kind of try to define like who can be a charismatic person. For example, Suresh says that who can influence others by his words uh, and actions or behavior. That can be one such charismatic person. All
Okay.
right. So
Yes.
just to
Suresh,
kind of again update people who are joining still kind of little late, maybe still behind. So this is the webinar on charismatic communications, and you are listening to Sujita. Yeah. Yes, please.
thank you, sir. Suresh, thank you so much for your comment. And I didn't get what Ankita was saying, sir.
Angia,
Angia.
she's saying that it's very hard to choose one single person from public life, but we know some from our personal life.
Oh,
Okay.
personal life.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. So thank you, sir. I'll talk. I have some questions to Ankia. Sorry, Ankia, sir.
Angia, I think.
Angia.
Angia
Okay.
Jyoti.
Okay. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
I will go on, sir.
Yes.
Uh, so, Angia Jyoti, I have a question to you. When you say that you have somebody from your personal life, then tell me what is the quality that is so appealing in them? Please answer me if you can. That would be really great. And Suresh, yes, you were very right that they impact and influence us by their words and actions. Uh, what they do, they leave an impact. Which that was so correct. Uh, you
Your
know,
voice is a bit little low now,
yes.
Sujita, so you can just
Okay, sir.
check that and continue, please.
Yes. Is that fine, sir, now?
Now much better.
Yes. Okay. I'll go on, sir. Please let me know if there is anything.
All right. Yes, yes, of course.
Yes. Uh, so I'm going to give you an experiment. Okay, when we were talking about slumped position, right? So I'm going to give you an experiment which I came to know it was very nice. That was from a very powerful speaker. What he says is, if you stand straight with your hands on your hips, okay, with your chest up, chin up, heads up, what happens is your power hormones, everybody has a male and female hormone, estrogen and progesterone. sorry if my pronunciation is really bad. I really suck at math and science, so pardon me for that. But still, I think I was pretty okay with my pronunciation of estrogen and progesterone. So the power hormones, they are secreted when your posture is so straight. So which means your hips and head and your chest and chin. So do experiment and now let me know. So whenever you go, for a meeting or a sales, going to make some pitch, okay, that, we all always make a pitch. See, I'm a freelance journalist. I always have to pitch some ideas to the editor. So imagine that I'm going to talk to an editor. So asking that, if I can work on this idea, probably I should not go with a sunken face. So I should, you know, keep my chin and breast, hip, everything straight. That will project power and confidence, so that my editor will have the confidence that I can deliver the piece. So that was about, head and other body postures. Uh, and now it's very important that I think as visually impaired people, give we should be cautious about. That is our mannerisms and tics. Everybody would have it as a human being. Okay, so I was reading the other day. Sir, I think, is my voice okay now?
Yes, yes, voice is very much okay. Few more comments. So
Yes, sir.
Pratham Kumar Singh thinks
Yes,
that our Prime Minister is a charismatic person.
definitely I agree, Mr. Pratham Kumar. Yes.
Yeah, yeah. And Shyam Singh says, my father is a charismatic person because of his simplicity.
Wow, that's
Okay.
really nice.
Yes, yes. So please go on.
Okay, sir.
Yeah.
And my question to Ankia is there. Please, Ankia, tell me, what's the quality that you are in a person that you said, you somebody whom you know personally. Okay, and now, if we should always remember our tics and mannerisms as human beings, everybody has. And what happened when I was visiting with my ophthalmologist. My mother was saying, I would always have my hands on my eyes. If that happens when, particularly if I am overthinking or if I am sad, so that happens. So my doctor was telling me, you accept it as her. uh, you know it's not even a mannerism, is accepted as her quirk, which you can enjoy. But we cannot have that in a professional setting. Definitely it's a big no. Maybe people who are very loving to us can accept it. It's not acceptable, not only for persons with visual impairment, but for anyone. I was reading a book on leadership. Okay, and there was this author. He was saying that somebody was a great imitator. Okay, in our offices also we have somebody who imitates our PM, who imitates us, or among the friends we always have imitators. They are very good uh, at modeling. So uh, so this uh, this person was like the colleague, no, of the author. He was a great imitator, and he was imitating somebody. It seems like he did not know what. Wow, what a great quirk! Somebody's having a hand like this on their chin. He was laughing at it. So when there was a good willing friend that said, "Hey, what is this? He's imitating you, man." Because when you have a post like that, it means that you are so tense that we cannot approach you at all. So we ourselves do not know that we have such mannerisms. uh, and when we all now are growing to be YouTubers also, so definitely we should have not have such mannerisms, and we all should devise such some mechanisms to stop them. Okay, when you involve in such a kind of mannerisms, uh, and when we take such kind of mannerisms, no, it definitely does not register as a power posture at all. Sir, is there any comment? Hello?
Yes, no, nothing worth noting for now. You may
Yeah,
continue.
okay, sir. Yes. So, as I was saying, okay, so that should never be there, the mannerisms and all that stuff. We should be very cautious of not doing that. And now I want to talk to you about voice. Before I, jump into how do you handle your voice, your speech rate, your tone, all that, I want to tell you something about how do you handle your camera. See, we all have to, and also very important aspect of eye contact. See, everybody says that eye contact is makes somebody very charismatic. Definitely, it doesn't not only make you charismatic, but somebody will accept you. Sorry, it's not accepting, but also recognize or spotting confidence. That comes only when you make a good eye contact, and that is a key in communicating with anyone. So we should definitely try to make eye contact, and that should not be for a long time. Okay, like it should not be a staring kind of stuff. It will definitely scare people away. So what should you do is like maybe 5 to 8 seconds or maximum 10 seconds. You can have your eye contact at the subject or the person that you're opposite that is opposite to you, and after that you can take a break of around 5 seconds of that person. That is the statistics that we have. So on making eye contact, which is very very powerful. If at all, if you cannot make an eye contact due to some health reasons, you can always have your face facing that person. That is very important. You should definitely try and do that. Otherwise that will show as a very weak, and people will think that we are not hearing, sorry, yeah, we are not hearing them, or people will not take us seriously. So it's not, I'm not meaning that if you cannot see, people cannot take you seriously. What I'm meaning is uh, we should be very powerful enough to project a very good image even though we don't see. So that's what is my point. And also I want to tell you how do you handle camera. So when you look at, I think it would be very interesting for the audience. See, when you look at camera angles, again you should have a smile and all that. I'm not going to go into it, but still, uh, see, when obviously when it is videographed, all our tics and mannerisms will always be recorded. So we should be doubly conscious when we are videographed. So first of all, we should avoid that. And also, when we are on the camera, we must never make movements kind of. See, we will be doing that unconsciously, taking the kerchief, holding the kerchief, or as I say, keeping the hands on eyes, whatever. So no extra unnecessary movements. uh, so that is definitely important. And what makes a power pose on the camera, this is very important. So what gives that is a still position in the sense, you know you keep your eye contact firm with the camera. Your hands are firmly left loose, either on your lap or on the table or whatever, on the sides. So, and they're not shaky, that without any movement. So that would project power. That is the stillness devoid of any body movement. I hope you understand what I mean by stillness. If you don't get, if I'm not making myself clear by what I mean, still, you please let me know in the comments. I will make it clear. So, and also, I'm going to tell you how do you handle a video call or video conference. I think that would be interesting. Uh, Sir, am I audible? Everything is okay?
Yes, yes, everything is okay. So Angia Jyoti Priya responded twice. First,
Yes.
she said the person should be approachable.
Yeah.
Second comment, I think she wants to say probably what she means is sometimes they don't know the public personality in person, so they may not be what they seem to be, something like
Correct.
that.
Very true. Very
Yeah.
true.
Rajesh says that Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam is a charismatic person.
Great.
Yes, yes, yeah. All right.
Rajesh, thank you so much for reminding Kalam sir. That's really nice. He has a very soft power.
Mm, yes,
Yes. Can I go on, sir? Is there
yes,
anything?
yes. Yeah, yeah, all right.
Yes, sir. So I'm going to be telling about how to face camera, sorry, video conference. So which is very important now in our office scenario. We have now in the time of lockdown and all. So how do you handle it? See, when you are talking, so now I'm making the presentation. If it is to be a video one, what should I be doing is I should be facing the camera, okay, or the if at all, if I cannot face by my eyes, if there is any condition, but actually at least I should be facing my face towards the camera. And also when I'm talking, so that should be the case when I'm talking. But when I'm listening to someone, okay, now so Prashant sir is going to be giving some instructions to me, he's going to say some deliverables, he's going to describe what should I do, something, he's going to describe some deliverables, or how should I handle a particular assignment. He gives me an assignment, I want to note down the points that he's saying on the video call. So what should I do now? I should not face the camera now. At this point, since I'm not speaking, I should be facing the screen. Okay, so you please do that if you can. uh, when you're listening on the conference, video conference, if you're the listener, you should be facing the screen. If you're the speaker, you should be facing the camera. So that is a rule for the this one. uh, and Also, about when it comes to body language, it's needless to say that we should always have be mindful of bad breaths, and also bad odor and all that. So everybody knows, so I'm not going into that. Okay, I think I'm done with the body language part. So if you want to know anything, I'm not body language expert, as in that sense, but how to communicate charismatically in that sense, how to make your poses powerful to communicate your message. So if you want to know anything on that body language segment, please let me know. I'll wait for some time for your comments. uh, Meanwhile, I'll go into the barriers of charismatic communication. What are the barriers that stop being, shows you you're not charismatic,
Mm.
that you're somebody so weak.
All right. So, Sujita, maybe
Yes,
you
sir.
could just summarize what you said about body language in just one or two sentences,
Yeah,
and
sure,
then
sir.
maybe I will give you one or two more comments from the audience. Uh,
Sure, sir.
yes.
Yes. So now to summarize on body language, definitely see, as I'm doing now, please have a great smile. That's very important. That makes you very pleasant and approachable. I should, at this point, this is a point of summary. I should not be telling you a story, but still, I will tell you a story. There was a neighbor next to us. She was like kind of fighting over with us, over some money issue. And she was holding a smile throughout. We did not have a feeling that she was fighting with us at all. Come on, see how positive and powerful that is. So definitely have a smile. Definitely make a eye contact. That's very important. Keep your eyes, sorry, not eyes, your cheeks, chin, chest, hip, head all up. And also let your have a deep breath. And also keep your hands still, and let it loose by hang by your side. And this was much about body language.
Yes. Thank you, Sujita. All very useful, I think, tips.
Yes.
So, people are mostly replying to your previous question. So, I
Yes,
will
sir.
ask them to also ask questions on body language if they have.
Yes, sir.
Some people answered like NAB Delhi helpline says Mother Teresa is a charismatic person,
Yes.
and Angia Jyoti Priya commented again twice. A good friend is a charismatic person.
Oh my God, I cannot agree more. Very much.
Yes, yes. So she again says, my friend from university is charismatic because that person is very much approachable and helpful. So,
Yes.
all right, yes. Okay, yes.
Thank you, Ankiya, for your comment. That was so true.
Mhm.
And NAB Delhi, that is like Mother Teresa. Uh, she had a power which which I will also talk about in when talking about the qualities of a charismatic person. Yes, her power was of a different kind, which people like the Dalai Lama, everybody has. Thank you so
Mm,
much for bringing up that.
yeah.
And also, when I was summarizing, I was telling you about the body language. Sorry, about the camera part. So you should facing the camera. There should not be any movement when you are video recorded. Tics and the mannerisms must not be there. And your hand, what is the power pose that I was telling you about? Your hand should be visible. It should not be under the table or grasping something. So if visible hands is a good sign of great confidence. Uh, so that is about facing. And while having conferences, you should always when you're speaking, you should face the camera. When you're listening, you should look at the screen. Sir, is there any comment or anything? Hello.
Yeah, Sujita, you continue.
Okay, sir. So the next portion of my presentation is going to be on barriers to communicate. Sorry, charismatic communication. So, what are the barriers you think? You also let me know why one person will be considered as very weak when they are communicating. Please let me know. And I also have a question before I go on. Please tell me what is the post that you were doing it very wrongly and you're going to change from this session onwards. Please tell me what is the one that you're going to take on for the next interview or for the next meeting. Let me know which tip was very helpful and which you're going to take it up. Okay, please give me in your comments. Okay, so what makes somebody very weak, in when they're communicating, or what make them unsound? I cannot say unsound, but of less impact. Uh, okay, I'll give you my own example. See, first of all, shyness is a very big reason that will show somebody as very weak. I don't have a data for India, but in somewhere, I studied that uh, 93% of the people of the population, in US feels that they are very shy. That is a whopping number. I was very much surprised at the figure when I was reading it. So I think even most powerful people also feel, that they are not okay. They feel shy and all that. So shyness is a very big reason. And not only that, we have some uh, personality differences. See, you may be an introvert and I may be an extrovert. I think that, since I'm an extrovert, I want you like to be communicating to me, but you don't do that. But I feel that, this is not a charismatic person. I cannot communicate with her because she's not talking to me at all. So personality differences, and also insecurities, uh, and self doubts, self consciousness. Self consciousness means when I'm talking and I feel that, how uh, am I powerful enough, uh, or I'm not like, I feel that I'm insufficient in the way I handle some stuff. Okay, when I'm communicating to people. for example, I'll see, as I've learned a lot of things, whatever I'm speaking here, I've learned most of the things from experiences also. So see, when I'm dealing with a vendor, vegetable vendor, or a milkman, for instance. See, I know everybody knows that I cannot see. So I carry the self-consciousness that how would they think that I can communicate with them? I'm so powerless because I'm not seeing where are they. I feel that I'm inadequate uh, to get things from them. So how will they show me things, and like how will they hand over to me? What will I say? All that. So that is the self consciousness that we have. When I have that, that will obviously reflect in my body language, the way I speak to them, my language, unsureness and all that. So self consciousness is, and that makes you not confident. Okay. You can tell me also if you have any questions on body language. So before we go into that, I also wanted to talk to you about how to project your voice and your tone and speech rate. Your voice is so important in projecting power. See, you should have an animated voice. You should not, like as we said, your body should not be in a slumped position. You should keep your head and your chest and hip straight. It should also, your voice should also not sink low, or I should not be sad or something like that. You should always have an energy, and they say that it should be animated, enthusiastic. And your speech rate, you know you will not believe me. What happened was, sometime I was recording some message, okay, and okay, it was like I was recording a post for my YouTube channel, and my family members, they all deleted it, saying it's not at all good. See, I was delivering very useful information, but what made them think that it was not good, that was my speech rate was very, very, very slow, with all the fillers, hums, and all the fillers. So it was very slow. So even though all the research and data was very useful, since I was not speaking it fast, they thought that this message is not worthy of listening. So what one way to project power is the speech rate, which should be very fast. Okay, and also, how should your tone be when you're talking? Tone, in the sense, it should be very warm, it should be very positive. So if at all, there was a study, okay. uh, there was a survey research, sorry, there was a survey that was done in a website. So they recorded hello in different tones, okay. Hello, hello, and all this, kind of different pitches. So everybody, undoubtedly rated the happy hello, and they said that they want to be friends with that person only. So your tone must be very friendly. As Ankia was always saying, a person is always approachable. So what gives the quality, what shows that someone that you're approachable is the way, the tone, that comes out. So which is very soft, and also very happy and very upbeat, energetic. Tell me if I am sounding energetic, okay, that will also give me a boost. uh, Sir, is there any comment, any question on body language?
So there is one question
Yes,
on your previous thing, that how does a visually impaired know where the camera is positioned?
yes, okay, thank you. Who's the name,
This
person's
is
name, sir?
one of the NAB team members only.
Yeah, okay, sir. Yeah, so it was audible also, all the voice part and all, like so far. Hello, hello.
You continue, Sujita.
Okay, sir, fine, sir. So the question was, how do you know as a blind person where the camera is? So okay, now I'm going to address all that when I'm talking about how, when I say about how do you handle your own what do you call insecurities or doubts? See, what I do is, this is a strategy that I always use. I always have people around. Okay, I ask them where is the camera. So my why I said I will tell you when I'm talking about how do you handle insecurities is that yes, I had some issues. Like, how do I say that I cannot see or I don't know where is the camera? This was a problem I always had, because when posting for photos also, I would there were some times that I was looking down that showed that my eyes were closed and all that. So at that time I was not ready to speak out. No, where is the camera? See, I cannot know. No, that I cannot, like, where is the flash and all is coming. So I was so insecure to even ask that. So if there is definitely there would be sighted assistant around all the time. uh, so it is always great to ask, tell people that you can, what you cannot do and what you can do. So you can ask them where the camera is. If you want to know, you can always sense it by, if it is very near, you can sense it by touching your hand, but if it is very close, you can ask people to give their voice and say, follow my voice, and that where my voice comes from, that's where the camera is, so you follow my voice. Or you can ask where, when you're posing for a group photo, or like, you're going to do a long shoot. Okay, uh, so you will always like count steps, right? So 10 steps, and from here, and 5 steps from here. My aunt used to tell me, see, Suji, I'm standing here, this is where the camera is going to be. You come, count the steps, and then you go and stand. uh, and I'll come count the steps, and probably, okay, 10 steps away from me in this direction. Okay, she is to my left, she's my to my right, or she's standing to my, probably I think they would be taking the pictures, standing straight to us only. So always you can count the steps, and also look at the direction. So
Hmm.
you can definitely have people's help, and they will always shout out.
Yeah. Yes. So, yeah, thank you, Sujita. So there is a request from a user named Guru.
Yes.
मैडम प्लीज एक्सप्लेन इन हिंदी. सो सो गुरु, अभी ये वाला सेशन हम मेनली इंग्लिश में कर रहे हैं. हम हिंदी में भी कभी करेंगे, तो तो आप उसका फायदा उठाइएगा. उम्मीद करता हूँ कि कुछ ना कुछ तो आपको इसमें से समझने समझने को मिलेगा. Another person, Rakesh, is wanting to know how visually impaired persons should use hands while speaking, hand movements.
Okay, that's a very Rakesh, sir.
Yes.
Rakesh, thank you so much for your question. It's very useful and very informative. That's like very important one. Um, See, uh, while I said you're going to talking to somebody, okay, you're going to be talking to a team lead, okay, and I assume that you're going to, like, there are a lot of scenarios. In this present scenario, I'll be giving you a lot of scenarios as well. But now the one that I'm taking is like you're going for a job position, something. Okay, you always leave your hand in front of you on your lap. Okay, so but don't touch your hands, like, don't clasp them together. That's what I mean. So, okay, don't clasp them together. So each hand should be resting on, each thigh. Okay, so you should rest on your lap. So that is the ideal position when you're talking. Okay, and also when you're posing for a, when you're sitting and having a camera pose also. So comfortably leave your hand loose, keep it on your lap. Okay, uh, but if you want to communicate as a speaker, if that is your question, yes, definitely you can do that. See, there was Barack Obama. I was invoking him in the beginning also. See, when he speaks about, you know uh, some ill that he wants to go away from the society, he shows a clenched fist. Okay, even now when I'm talking to you, I'm also posting it, even though it's a audio conversation, like my hand automatically. So you can always say, like, uh, that I will, what do you call, um, that I'm going to flinch the hands. Okay, that is a pose that you will show. So you can always do that. If you're angry at something, some societal things, you can always show a flinched position. And also, if you want to wave someone, yes, you can always use your hands to, if you're welcoming something, you can have a open palm. Okay. And so you can have your, you open armsly welcome, or you know you want some benefits to flow to a lot of people. Okay, some scheme, if Modi ji is talking about some scheme, you can spread your hands, and probably symbolify that the benefit will reach countless number of people. uh, See, you need not be self conscious at all. Whatever you feel like the correct pose to communicate what you think. Okay, you can definitely display your arms in saying that.
Yes, okay, good. So, Sujita, it's like
Yes.
almost 50 minutes since we started.
Yes,
Uh,
sir.
so probably you have finished maybe two or three sections, I suppose.
Yes.
All right. So okay, you may please.
Yeah, I do have
Yes.
two sections.
All right. All right. So please, you can move on to the next. I will be monitoring the comments.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. So we have two more segments. So in which one I'm going to be talking about what are the qualities that make someone charismatic. So uh, number one quality that makes somebody charismatic is um, okay, uh, being authentic. Uh, you know, being yourself, so that you're not at all what do you call, you're not self-conscious like I was when I was handling the vegetable vendors and all that. So how do you, like, you're comfortable being yourself? See what, yeah, I cannot see. So I tell people that that I'm, first of all, they're okay with themselves, and they're very they're very authentic self. There is no difference, like uh, public you know there is no difference in the personal life and the public life. uh, yeah, they what do you, they project the same picture everywhere. I'll tell you I'll give you an example. uh, See, there is like this media mogul called Oprah Winfrey. So she was like, she is a colored woman, she is black, and she, as a television personality, she has done several interviews, around 30,000 odd interviews. So she's so powerful and she's so charismatic, but she felt like she had her she felt like she's being a black woman. How can people see me and all that? But what is her side, being so personable, that is, like, she talks personal stuff and all. That is what is what do you call, her authentic quality. That's what her authentic means, your original self. Okay, you don't have a camera self. And that's what I meant by, I felt so difficult explaining. So you being original, there is no facade over over here. So her original being is, like, I definitely, as I always say, I'm very animated, I really shout, even though one should be very calm. As a communicator, that's my authentic self. So people, if you're your original self, people will definitely accept you. So she wanted to take up a show. Okay, when she took up a show in Chicago TV. Okay, that was a Chicago AM. So there was a Don, kind of a very senior person, Phil Donahue. He was so powerful. So when she entered, everybody said that, Oprah, you cannot beat him. When it comes to competition. So what can you do is to be charismatic. You be your original self. And that advice, she took it. And what is her, as I always already said, that she talks to people very personally. She goes and touches them, she feels with them, she cries with them. People get like, she opens up. She doesn't shy away talking about her own life and all that. So that all made her feel like, she is like very charismatic. So be your own authentic self. In few months, no, her show took off the media industry by storm. So they are very original. They don't project uh, image. So that is one power of, how they are powerful. Um, and the second thing, what makes one charismatic is, there is a quote by Richard Branson. Um, okay, I think the quote goes like this: respect is not for, only someone whom you want to impress. Respect is for one and all. So they treat everyone respectfully, and irrespective of the result that you expect from them. See, if somebody is going to be giving me a job, I'll be very nice to them. Otherwise, if somebody is going to, who's a domestic help, I'll be very bad, as nasty as I can be. That's not the case. They're very respectable to everyone. uh, so I should tell you a story here. This is like, there was a hotel manager, and what he did was like, it was so rainy on that day, and it was a night time. You all know that at nights, people really find it difficult to get accommodations, and especially when it is rainy also, you cannot drive far to find hotels. So a couple approached this manager and asked if you can, accommodate us at least in a small room. That would be really helpful. But this manager said, actually, they were old couple, okay, like aged couple. uh, Actually, we don't have any room, ma'am, but what I can do is, see, that's the scenario. Keeping in view the scenario, I can give you my own accommodation. They'll have their own room, no? So he had given up that for them, and he slept on the corridor or on the lobby. Okay, so he did that. In few years back, what happened? The uh, people, the guests, no, what they did was, they were so rich that, they built a hotel, and they made this person, the manager, who gave them a room, an accommodation at a rainy day. They made uh, this person in charge of the property. So it's not that you should do something, you should respect a person expecting that they would give you something back. But no, it's not that expectation. But without that also, you should be very nice to people. That's what all the charismatic people do. Okay, they're so respectable. And also, as Jyoti said, our friends are very, very charismatic, because what they do is, they understand us. They help us, like, even in the community we have the helpline, or even friends who are very great at tech, which I'm not. I always ask my friends, and my charismatic friends, they tell me something, and thank you so much. No, I said, no, this, I think this worked for me. So it's very helpful that it is working for you also. So they don't make you feel stupid or dumb or anything of that sort. They help you, without letting you down. They don't judge you for anything, and that's why they are very charismatic. And also, they have all ears. When you speak, the attention that they give you is like, they have uh, they question you so much, like, they're very curious about your life. They listen about, so deeply about you. It feels like two lovers talking. So you feel heard, you feel understood, and you feel cherished in their presence. So that is a quality that they project, and they also encourage so much. As a journalist, you get an interview. Like, I got to interview a lot of senior people and all that. It was like only 3 years of my writing time then. I happened to interview ex-president's daughter. So what she said was, I was like, I know that how small I am when it comes to interviewing people. But still, what she said was, see, she was very charismatic. So she so encouraging. They uplift you and they encourage you. Um, so what she said was, I'm so happy that you interviewed me. I think your newspaper had selected a seasoned journalist to interview me. Oh my God. They make you feel so good, and they expect more from you, and so that you bring out the best. So they bring out the best in you. I think you should also try to bring out the best in everyone, by challenging them and by looking at the sunny side of them, and hoping that it will, uh, hoping that or making some efforts to make them grow their talent. So uh, that's no, that one they do very very much, and that's why you feel a great charisma about them. And the next trait that they have is they are super super uh, calm, and when some tough times come, they don't kind of, when in the list and also like the fast reaction kind of stuff. um, Somebody says something on the list and everybody jumps on a bandwagon saying this was wrong and this is bad. No, their response is so measured. They think twice before sending that hit button. Okay, they're so measured and they don't respond too quick. Their response is too slow, uh, because they compose and say what they have to say, and also they tone down what they have to say. Like they don't snap at you, they don't make blunt statement at all. And see, if at all, if you fight with them also, what they would do is they would not break the bond with you. What they would try to break is only the problem, and they would only say, your behavior was wrong. Okay, and they will not say your personality is bad. Okay, and even when they have to walk out of some situation also, if I'm working with you as a team and I have to walk out of you also, I won't kind of, I don't there is some statement funnily they say, you don't come to my death and I won't come to your death. That's never the case with them. See, they won't burn, they say don't burn the bridges, they won't burn the bridges. Even next, they will come, they will break any alliance also, decoupling, they say, so amicably and so softly, that there will not be a sting at all. They will easily come back and talk to you. So that way they will not, because they had not shouted at you. So that way they were like very calm and composed. And also uh, they they are not like, they are not kind of I come from there, and glass ceiling and all. They don't project such a, like they share their portion, their human self to you. I should tell you an incident. uh, in US election, 1992 election, uh, Bill Clinton was, uh, his rating was too slow, sorry, too low when he was, in the beginning stages of his campaign. But when he talked about his own self, his childhood, which was very difficult, and all that, uh, and his parents and his brothers, like his rating, it increased many fold. So, and even YouTube and all, what you like, people who make, personal, what it gets million views is, a child's photograph, or a real person's real emotional, personal things that they share from the heart. After all, humanity is what connects. And finally, what quality that they have is they are very inclusive. They don't exclude anyone. So I should tell you, sir, audio is okay, no?
Yes, yes, please. Okay, everything.
Yes, sir. So I should tell you about my one of my friend, a speeding ticket and a murder incident. Okay. So what was that? Was like, I told you that charismatic people are all inclusive. They include everyone. They don't have any difference. That's what makes them leader. Okay. uh, so I have a friend, okay, who is very inclusive about people. He has okay, but before I tell about him, I'll tell you an incident. uh, Somebody got a speeding ticket, and there was a penalty to be paid with the police. So he went there for somebody's behalf, and there, he is so open to talking to anyone. He has no difference, he really won't see anything of that sort. He's very open when giving second chances or talking to people. So he started a conversation, and it's like so funny that it was a murderer that he was talking to. So then, only then later, the police informed that, I don't know if he informed or he came to know that from the police that the person that he was talking to a minute back was a murderer, and he was under arrest or something. So charismatic people always, like, they don't have any difference, since they don't have judgment, and they all look at person's real worth and real uh, perfect potentiality in each individual. They are so inclusive. They all include everybody in the project. So I think that kind of teacher only we like. Yes or no, please let me know in the comment. um, so and also finally, they have what it is called integrity. See what they do, they say, I'll do this, they'll do this, and what they can do only they'll say, and they will definitely make sure that it is done. No, that way you develop a trust, and the bonding hormone called oxytocin, so that is released and all that. So since you trust them, you know that if it is done, it is done. When they say it is done, it is over yesterday itself. So that's what uh, makes them very powerful as leaders. Tell me in the comments, which quality that you will take it up to be charismatic.
All right, Sujita. So let's see. People are welcome to respond to your questions,
Yes, sir.
and probably you have your last segment now, I think.
Yes, sir. Correct.
All right. So yeah, I think like we have been holding people. It's more than an hour, so maybe you quickly take up your last session, and by
Yes,
that
sure.
time, if there are comments, I will keep a track of it.
Sure, sir. My last segment.
Yes.
On to my last segment is how to project power in the informal segment of dating, or meeting up a significant other. So when you do that, there is a study. Okay, it's a research again. Love at first swipe. There is a show. Okay, in that show, what they said is 93% of people, okay, they said that this is not the image that I wanted to make, but unfortunately they were giving up a vibration or an image which they don't want to project. So probably we are all not giving up uh, out very uh, nice impressions of ourselves. Mostly it comes to abroad also, and also even here. So I just wanted to kind of help you how to project a powerful image here in this setting also, and leave a good impression on a significant or a special someone also. So how do you do that? First of all, when you, okay, are going to meet a special someone, uh, as persons with visual impairment, how do you project power? We should always keep the scenario in control, where you're going to go. You should always keep it, the plans and all, uh, where you the money and all that, or everything organized. That shows you that you're very powerful. uh, and also, the place that you're going to check in, you keep like you command the situation. So that is number one. And also you should even though I can, like, there is no uh, you know I'm not going to tell you about how to dress and all, but still, when it comes to communicating and projecting an image, like darker colors like velvet, that was not velvet, that was pink, and blue projects, a trustworthy image. Red projects passion, so greens, all sorts of dark colors, brown, all that projects power. Okay, don't have, as I always already said, breath and odor, should be very careful about. Body odor and bad breath, that should always never be there. And also what should not be there is like facial hair that is really, that showed that, a study said that if, and facial hair and all that, like reduces one's charisma. You should go like feeling, any scenario that you go, you feel like you're a winner, you're a champion. If you feel powerful, there was a study, okay, that said that if you feel that you're influential, that really shows up in your face and your body, feeling of having a feeling of pride and walking as if, acting as if that I'm so powerful, I'm the best. When I interview people, champions, what they say before even setting up, going into the sets, okay, they say that I'm the winner, so they look at them as winners. So having all that, having that shift in the mind, so that is very important. And also be interested, be interesting, be interested to listen to what the other person has got to say. You have and also you have to be interesting in, being a good communicator, you know uh, making a list of things to talk to. Don't be judgmental. The study says that if you're being judgmental, you're badly rated by your date. And don't ever talk negatively of people, or any, if the hotel is not nice, don't be negative at all. If you're negative, you know people rate you as negative, not the person or the scenario as negative. That was a study that, okay, so don't do that. Be always positive, be positive. And also your manners, please have a watch over your manners. 87% people feel that, your bad manners make a bad impression. So don't do that. And also, don't that's not the place to talk about problems or your personal problems. So you should always celebrate differences in each individual, okay, individual. And also there was this, in Walmart, there is a principle, okay, which I think that I should give you this. Sam Walden, the founder of Walmart, had written in his office, if you come across a customer in 10 feet, you should always smile and approach the person. Can I help you, sir? Say that. So if you want to be, if you want to talk to someone, if you feel someone is interesting, and if you want to know them well, please don't hesitate. You should always be confident in everything, be it in the job, also in the personal situations also. So be assertive, ask uh, anybody out, and also you can ask for a few more dates if you're interested in the first one. All the very best.
Okay,
Sir?
okay. Thank you, Sujita. All right. So, thank you. Let's see. There are maybe one or two final comments that you can respond to,
Yes.
and then maybe we can close.
Yes.
So, Munnu Swami Verma says this seems very useful. Rakesh agrees to this, and um, okay. Um, all right. So these are some of the additional comments apart from what I already informed you. All right. Okay, Sujita. So thank you very much for all the useful tips that you have given to people for improving their personality to become more effective. And to all the people who joined, hope you enjoyed, you benefited with this webinar. You can inform your friends that this will remain on the YouTube channel. People who missed it can always come back and have a look. and we hope that you will join us again for the upcoming webinars on this channel. Any final thing you want to say,
Yes,
Sujita?
yes, yes, definitely,
Yeah,
sir.
yes.
So it was really nice interacting. So if you want to know anything of on communication, on writing also, you can definitely write to me personally. I would be very happy to help you, anyone in this list. So it's Sujita, Sujita dot UPBEAT upbeat at gmail.com. So I will be very happy to help anyone, in terms of communications or writing, whatsoever. It's again SUJITHA dot UPBEAT at gmail.com.
All right. Okay. Thank you then. Thank you and bye everyone, and hope to meet you again.
Thank
Goodbye.
you.